Analyst Brian Sobel. Brian, what does each candidate have to do on Monday night during that debate, and how do you see things playing out? Do you think we're going to see the kind of Donald Trump who we saw in the Republican debates, or are we going to see a quieter, more in control, if you will, Donald Trump?
Well, they both have their own role. I think Hillary Clinton has to reassure the American people that she's trustworthy, that she has a grasp of the issues, which I think we believe she does. She's traveled all over the world as Secretary of State, so she just has to continue to reinforce the fact that she's presidential. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has to also prove that he's presidential, and how he has to do that is actually, I think, by getting into some specifics. 90 minutes is a long time. He'll run out of platitudes pretty quickly. He's got to get into substance. It would be in his best interest to really come out, tone down the rhetoric, not get drawn into a fight, and just be presidential. They both have a very specific job to do.
So given what's happened this last week in both Tulsa and Charlotte, obviously race relations most likely going to come into this debate, what do you think both candidates need to do in regards to that topic?
Well, first of all, Donald Trump doesn't have a tremendous amount of credibility in the African-American community and the Latino community. So his job is going to be to show empathy for what's going on in that community, for how that community feels they're being treated in America. Hillary Clinton is better on that subject, but doesn't play well with, say, young African Americans. So they, again, so much is at stake on Monday night. So many people are going to be watching, and this first debate is just critical.
That's what I wanted to ask you, because there are going to be three debates, but really the first debate is almost like the first impression, and there's nothing like that first impression.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All these people are going to tune in from around the country and around the world. I think the numbers are going to be astounding as to how many people tune in. And the first 20, 30 minutes is just going to be very, very important for each candidate to come out, set the scene, who they are, what they have planned for the United States of America, and then the next hour or so, if they can keep people tuned in, it should be very, very interesting.
But Brian, do you think they could actually sway some voters, or is this more trying to go after the independent voters? They both have their base. This is going after the independents.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think really the base of each party is set, and each candidate is set. They're going after the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14% who may either be soft on which way they're going to go, or are still undecided at this point. Because if they can get 4 or 5% of those people, that can make the difference.
Absolutely.
They need to be able to convince those undecided.
Absolutely.
To come to their camp.
It's a big, big deal.
All right. Thanks, Brian.